Hello, welcome to the Morgan Dragonmoon show. I'm Morgan Dragonmoon, and thank you guys for coming in tonight. It is February 2nd of the year 2020, and happy Imbolc to those who celebrate Imbolc, and happy, I can't remember the Southern Hemisphere. Give me a second here. I apologize. It would be Lugnasad for those in the Southern Hemisphere. Happy Lugnasad as well, and happy Imbolc as well. Today I would be celebrating Thorabloat. That is normally celebrated in the middle of January, around January 22nd, I think, around that time period. I'm not 100% sure. But another special thing about today is it is 2022. So 2222. There's a numerological significance about today's date, and I'm going to look that up. It's an angel number. It means warning to slow down and take some time for yourself if you feel like you've been rushed lately. Trying to achieve balance in your life. Pretty much it's telling you to slow down and ground yourself and don't go over rushing into things. So far we have nobody on yet, but it's okay. What am I doing now? Sorry if I'm a little all over the place tonight. First thing I wanted to talk about is if you're into the Norse pagan path like I am, or you follow it. I have 3 books I have with me today that I highly recommend getting. 2 of them are for reading and understanding the runes, and one of them is directly linked to the god Odin himself. First book I'm going to talk about is by Hugin and Moonen Publishing, and it's called The Study Havamal. It's got it in Old Norse and 3 English translations, as well as a journal in here. I'll give you an example of one of the pages. You got Old Norse on top, Bray translation, Thorpe translation, and Belge translation, and notes spots so you can understand what specific stanza means what. Speaking of that, I asked Odin if there's any information on the Havamal he wishes me to disperse today as kind of an intro to what I'm going to be talking about today. And that is, the unwise man thinks all to know while he sits in a sheltered nook, but he knows not one thing what he shall answer if men shall put him to proof. Pretty much don't act like you know everything, because there will be people that will try to test you on that, and you'll look foolish trying to make up an answer that you don't know. This is a really good book. I highly recommend it. I still got a ways to go finishing up reading the Havamal. At least this copy of the Havamal. I read it in the Poetic Edda I have. But that's one book I highly recommend getting. And the books on the ruins. First one this is called The Futhark, Handbook of Rune Magic by Eldred Thorson, also known as Stephen Flowers. It's got detailed information about each rune in Elder Futhark, as well as some Galder for it, keywords of each runes, and there's also poses in here for runic yoga as well. He's also got some stuff in the back about working with the runes, talking about some of the history of the theory of rune magic, about cutting rune tiles, making bind runes for talismans, as well as rites in need, and then Old Norse pronunciations. And he also has Elder Futhark names, astrological correspondence to him, tarot card correspondence to him as well. I thought he had something about the younger Futhark. No, maybe not. Good book. Highly recommend it. Still got to read more of that as well. Last but not least, by Paul Rice Mountainfort. It's called The Nordic Runes, Understanding, Casting, and Interpreting the Ancient Viking Oracle. That's what the book looks like. This book has a lot of very good stuff in here. It's got a lot of stuff about the legend, about the lore, where the runes originally came from, a lot of historical things in here as well. Rune poems for each of the runes. I'll give you an example here. This is for Sowilu. He's got an Old English rune poem, a Norwegian rune poem, an Icelandic rune poem, and he also has got the correspondence to it, and a little bit of example about that. As well as he talks more about the myths and legends of that rune. And is also briefly talks about if it's reversible or not, because they have different meanings of the reversed. And he's also got different ways to do rune divination. Let's see if I can find it here. He talks about making a pouch for the runes as well. Spreads and casting runes. The 9 realms rune spread are hard to see. And then he's got an index for each of the Elder Futhark runes. Yeah, I highly recommend this book. This author specializes in Celtic and Norse traditions as well, so definitely recommend them to anybody that's interested in either of those paths. And I figured, since I was going to do some stuff about my predictions, I figured I'd do a rune poll as well. So I did one earlier before I started, and these are the ones I pulled. I pulled a Merkstave Algis rune. Merkstave is this is the original way it's supposed to be up. And that's Merkstave. If anybody's seen the peace sign, it's this rune, Merkstave. Merkstave means death, destruction, not being able to be protected. This is a protection rune. This is life. So what I interpreted it as is right now a lot of you are going to have went through a destructive cycle. A lot of old things that you used to have that were part of your life are now gone. Old friends, old beliefs, old situations that no longer serve you, they're gone. It was the time where it had to be swept away for you to grow. Second one I drew was Huggelos. I don't think this has a merc save, if I'm not mistaken. Huggelos represents hail, destruction, cosmic egg. So right now, you're going through a little bit of hardship. You're going through like the process of being reborn into a better person, but right now the crop's not growing right away because of the hail, and with destruction it comes rebirth. So as long as you're grounded and stuff, you should be all right. Don't take anything too rash. Right now is a very vulnerable time for most people, especially during their awakening. And last but not least, I drew Degas, which means day, shining light, rebirth. Not rebirth, brand new beginnings, dawn. So with that, instead of the other two, you're going to be having a bright new beginning, a new dawn, better outcome, a better you. It's the first time I've ever done a reading like that before, so I hope that kind of made sense for some people. It did for me when I pulled it, because I'm going through that right now. All right. Predictions for the year 2022. It's already the second month of 2022, and well, what is there what could be coming up, and what has already came? Well, last year, everybody was all getting excited about the fact that Betty White was going to have her 100th birthday next year, which is this year. I had a voice inside my head tell me she's not even going to make it past her 99th. But she's not going to make it to her 100th birthday, and sure enough, it was not that long for the beginning of the new year. Betty White passed away. So I'm not saying I predicted that, but that's what I heard in my head. But all right. February of 2022, we've got a couple major events going on. We've got the Super Bowl, and as well as the beginning of the Winter Olympics in the People's Republic of China, I think. Yes. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Honestly, I really don't care about the Super Bowl, but I know there's people that do care about the Super Bowl, so I will see what I get here. Well, that would be really interesting if that ended up being the case. It would fit the symbolism perfectly. You got two teams that are in there right now that have two. Well, actually, no, I take that back. The Rams are nothing like the sign of Capricorn. They're more of the Aries association. And then you have the Bengals, which is a tiger, and we are in the year of the water tiger. Now, if you interpreted the Rams as being kind of similar to the Capricorn energy, then it would be perfect symbolism if they ended up losing, because the United States could have a Pluto return in Capricorn, and Pluto usually represents death and transformation in astrology. Wow, this is like very esoteric stuff that's about the Super Bowl this year. That'd be really interesting if they do win. I honestly think the Bengals are going to win. Why do I get that feeling? One, because it's the year of the tiger. That's one reason. Two, the Los Angeles Rams. California's not doing very well right now, and I honestly think that if the Rams do lose, it's going to be a significant sign about what's to come to California, because there's a lot of people leaving California right now in droves. There's so many people leaving that there's not enough U-Haul trucks for them to get people. So I think if the Rams end up losing the Super Bowl, it's going to be very significant sign of what's possibly to come. Do I have a specific number of what the Bengals are going to win by? It's going to be a double-digit number. I want to say that'd be too friggin' obvious if it was that number. If it's I heard something about 33. And if anybody does not know what that is, it's a subtle nod to the dark forces that are in power. It's one of their numbers that they like to use. Anything with a numerical value of 33, or like a numerical values of 3, so like 3, 6, 9, anything with that in it. That's what I get. Pro Bowl doesn't really matter to me. Like I said, I really don't care about sports, but figured someone might want to know what's going to happen. The Winter Olympics. There's going to be a lot of big controversy of these Olympics. It'd be foolish for the PRC to start a conflict during that time period, because there's actually, you know what, that would be an interesting thing that would happen. If they ended up starting to go to war with some other country at that time period and all these people were over there during the Olympics, it'd be kind of like a hostage situation, in my opinion. It'd be like something out of like a movie where holding all these people hostage until you give up your territory or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen, though, but that was just an interesting thought that came in my head. Who do I think is going to do really good in the Olympics? It's obviously going to be China. The communist China, not democratic China, which is Taiwan. Facebook and YouTube probably not going to like that I said that, but I don't care. I don't really care for communism. I'm sorry. Yeah, China's going to win the medal count. Who do I see a second? It'd be a slap in the face to the United States if that was what happened. If Russia got second in the medal count and then the United States gets like third or fourth, it'd be a big slap in the face to the United States. It'd be a big morale drop. That's what I see in the Olympics. A lot of the athletes there are probably going to catch it. They're probably going to come back with some kind of new variant. I don't know. That's my gut feeling. My gut feeling is that there's going to be more information that's going to be coming out within this month. That's going to really show the light on what's really going on in all this global stuff. As you know, the United States is starting to deploy troops and stuff into Europe, Eastern Europe, for a possible conflict with Russia over Ukraine. Um, I don't think there's going to be a war. I honestly don't. They're going to be saber rattling quite a bit, but I don't see it escalating into war. The Ukrainian president's kind of remaining calm on this one. If anything, it's the United States is really pushing for a war because I feel that they're really wanting a war bad. It's more or less to distract the whole world from their domestic stuff that's going on. I mean, that's the biggest distraction you could do is have another war. What else do I see? There's going to be another convoy starting pretty soon. It's going to be in the United States. I've heard chatter about this already. It's going to start all the way out on the California coast and go all the way up to DC. This is going to be more or less another protest like what's going on up in Canada. There is a lot of people online that are in my age group or younger that are really believing the narrative that the media and these corrupt governments are starting to push. They're trying to turn these people into supremacists and ists and phobes. They're doing the same divide and conquer kind of method where it's like kind of tell them all these people are bad, they're ists and phobes, and then all these other groups that are part of those groups that they are supposedly against are getting to believe that that's actually true and dividing more. It's a distraction. It's a distraction from authoritarian grab. There's a lot more people now that are willing to have authoritarian control and not have any of their natural spiritual rights, such as being free and being able to do what you want. This convoy that's going up there now, I believe it's going to last another week. Maybe a week and a half. Trudeau's got a lot riding on this convoy issue. If Trudeau's successful in like telling these people to go home and give up their protest, then that's the sign that that's the direction we're all going to be going on the planet. They're going to start going back towards the authoritarian control systems. However, those truck drivers are going to be a symbol of some kind of resistance that's going to be coming because this is not stopping. As much as people want to stop, it's not going to stop. Honestly, Trudeau, if I were you, I'd just I would just give up your power grab. Just let them just relax all your mandates and just let everything go back to normal. It's been 2 years now since this thing started, and a lot more people are getting angry and divided around the world. There's people getting arrested in Australia. There's people losing their jobs, and medical segregation starting again. I mean, starting a lot of conspiracies that people thought were conspiracies are starting to come true. I saw all this stuff before it really started kicking off. Because we're going through a transition right now. We're leaving the old 3-dimensional Midgard and going to 5D Midgard. Yeah, keep an eye out when the United States' Pluto return starts, because there's going to be stuff coming up about government or finances, especially since the return's going into the United States' second house, the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn's governments and stuff like that, power, leadership. Second house, I believe, is finances and wealth and resources. So yeah, keep an eye on that. March. What do I see in March? Is there any significant things coming up in March of this year? You'd have a lot more interesting people starting to come out of the woodwork and starting to announce that they're going to be running for spots in politics right now. There's a lot more average people or well-educated people now that are starting to enter the political ring. There was a rumor that Dr. Oz was supposedly going to be running for some political seat. I'm not sure what, though, but interesting to see how well he does. There's going to be a lot of people on the Republican Party that are going to be wanting 45's support. They feel like he's the kingmaker now. Highly recommend you don't do that, because if there's something that goes on against him, he's going to drag everybody else down with him. Same thing with 46. Don't touch either of them with the 2-foot pole. That's all I'm going to say. Because if they go down, they're going to take people with them, and it's not going to be pretty. March, I feel like, is either going to be the beginning of the convoy in the United States, or it's going to be the second week of it. There's going to be a lot more people getting upset about these ridiculous authoritarian grabs that states and cities are starting to push. Keep an eye on Maryland. Not Maryland, either Maryland or Massachusetts. If any of those states decide to start giving up on their mandates, then it's going to be a sign that whole East Coast is finally going to chill out. DC is not backing down, but that's because they got more to lose than anybody else does. There's going to be something with Taiwan coming up in March. I honestly think maybe March is when the whole Taiwanese-Chinese conflict might begin. That war the United States will get involved in. And it's going to be over quickly. No, I don't see nuclear weapons being used at all. It's going to be conventional. Japan's definitely going to be involved as well. They're going to be fighting against China. I think after this conflict, the world's going to finally realize that the wrong country that we've been looking at. Like, everybody's been talking about Russia all the time. But people are going to find out that it's actually the People's Republic of China that's starting to influence the world a lot more and causing it to do what they want them to do. And then once people find out about that, China's going to start hurting. There's going to be people inside of the mainland that are going to start rebelling because they want more freedoms and stuff like that. They're tired of living under authoritarian control. I honestly think by the year 2023, you're not going to see a communist China anymore. You're going to see a reunited China. And it's going to be a Republic of China, Taiwanese government. Yeah, a lot of people are getting sick of communism over there. The only people that are benefiting from it's the party, not any of the citizens at all. Anything else? There's going to be more friction in the United States. Medical people are going to start pushing more and more. There might even be a new variant that might come out. There's supposedly talks of another Omicron variant. I think they're just going to screw with everybody and go to Omega variant or Andromeda variant. As soon as you see those two names, then you're going to start realizing that this whole thing was just planned. And it was all control. More people are going to start realizing that what's happening is not by accident. It's been planned. Got a lot of astrologers working for the dark forces, using the energy. April. That's a possibility. I think April, that's when Queen Elizabeth II, I think, is going to die. She's pretty up there right now, and she's definitely not going to make another year. Her health's starting to deteriorate. Last time she was in the hospital, yeah, she's going to die. And I think it's going to be either Prince Charles that's the next in line. But I honestly think Great Britain, the United Kingdom, is going to be like, we've had enough with living under a monarchy for so many years. It's time for us to be a commonwealth or a republic. And then they decide to get rid of the monarchy altogether and just have a normal democratic parliamentary style commonwealth. I don't think King Charles is going to be ruling for a long time. It's going to be probably for a couple months, and then they're like, no, we had enough with royalty. We don't want royalty anymore. What else? Not saying this is exactly going to happen in April, but the whole metaverse thing is going to start to be exposed for what it really is. It's just it's a precursor to what they want to happen in the future. They want to take your subconscious or your consciousness and take it out of your body and lock it in a computer simulated reality so that they can just keep you under their control and not have to worry about you rebelling or anything against them. Pretty much you'd be like in the Matrix. There's going to be a lot more pushback on that. But there's also be other companies that are going to try to get on that action as well because they think they're going to make a lot of money. But once they find out what's really happening, they're going to not keep going. Hey, you finally made it. So now I'm in May now. Okay, May of 2022. This is a given. There's gonna be more flying in California. There always is. Ooh, it's okay. I just heard something about. Yeah, it's your birth month. That's right. I heard something about space-based laser weaponry. They're going to find out that some of these California fires are not caused by natural things. They're going to be man-made. There's also going to be more stuff coming out about weather manipulation as well. And to show you that the stuff about weather manipulation, if I can pull up this patent. Anyways, there's a patent on. Oh, be a message. Sorry, it's a friend of mine messaged me. Not you, Amber. I'm going to show you this really quick. It's not much about it, but there is quite an interesting thing about it. Process for controlling weather. Look at year it was filed, 1948. It was granted in it was applied in 1951. A different application. United States Patent Office number 7, process for controlling weather. This invention relates to process and efforts in changing weather conditions, and more specifically to a process for dissipating clouds and fog by clearing the atmosphere of moisture particles that are large enough to be visible. Control weather which causes hail damage, lightning, and interferences with wave transmission. Dissipating typhoons, hurricanes, and other storm centers. Yeah, this is an actual patent here. They can decrease temperature, increase temperature. That's interesting. Stop sharing. Let's look here. All right. Yeah, so there's going to be more information coming out about weather manipulation. And by the way, it's not just the United States that's doing it. The United States is a little bit more hush-hush about weather manipulation. Overseas, they're doing a lot more. I remember someone saying that it was also China that's doing it as well, which is not surprising because they just made an artificial sun and supposedly an artificial moon, too. Did my screen just freeze? Okay, here we go. But you don't know about this patent here. Nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors. They're able to induce psychological effects on the humans with weak electromagnetic fields. Wow, look at how recent this patent is. This is pictures of how they can do it. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom in. Isn't that spooky? Sorry about that. I accidentally hit the wrong button. No, they weren't trying to take me off, I promise. um, so yeah, there's there's scary patents I did not realize were actual existent ones like that. I bet you didn't know this, but the CIA actually had a program where they were studying um, clairvoyance and psychics, trying to make them into spies. I think the Soviet Union was also doing the same thing as well. Where was I? May. Yeah, there's gonna be more stuff about weather manipulation coming out. I hope that's not true. I have a feeling that's gonna be the month where we're gonna see $4 gas in some areas. $4, and we are must have people leave. Next month, June. June is going to be a hot month everywhere. It's going to be a very hot month in June. There's going to be a lot more information coming out. Splish splash. It's going to be a very hot month in June. It's going to be a lot more information coming out that dark forces do not want people to find out. There's going to be a lot more whistleblowers, I think, about a lot of different things. What else do I see? It's interesting. See more seismic activity as well. West Coast is going to have a lot more seismic activity this year. What am I seeing? You might feel some earthquakes around Wyoming. A little bit more earthquakes around there too. I know some people are like, oh, does that mean Yellowstone's going to erupt? No. I don't see Yellowstone erupting anytime soon. Unless they did something where they manipulated the pressure of the ground and stuff where it would cause it to erupt. I don't see it happening anytime soon. Just more earthquakes around there because of the lava, the magma underneath the ground is kind of churning a little bit more. I'm feeling some stuff here. I'm seeing a lot of children that were once missing from their parents for a long time are finally going to be reunited with their parents. I feel like they're going to be. Saw something with like them sitting on porches and stuff, and parents seeing them at home finally. I don't know what that means. Could mean something important. I don't know. Just saw that. It's July. July is going to be different this year. July 4th is really not going to have any more meaning to anybody anymore. This is going to be another day where people just light off fireworks and stuff. I see emotions running high on that day with both sides of the aisle. The left is going to do some stuff like they're going to just do rattling cages thing again, and honestly, in my opinion, the right's going to take the bait and do something. Can we pop fireworks? Of course we can pop fireworks. Well, popping fireworks. Also, like launching those sky lanterns. I got to show you those. I'd love to go to the city one day if I ever get a chance. See if I can. Is this one? I'm trying to find a good picture of it. There we go.
Now you can have an expert do your taxes for you. 100% free. Simple tax returns only. Must file by February 15th.
This is in Taiwan. I'd love to go to this one time. And watch when they launch all of them up in the air. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Some people write messages and wishes on because they think the ancestors can read them when they get up that high. This is so beautiful. I love sky lanterns. There'd be some of them where they'd have like little fireworks in the bottom that would sparkle while it goes up. The fireworks going off in the background too. Like that. Yeah, that's beautiful. It is exactly like Tangled, yep. Yeah. It's exactly like Tangled. Where's this one photo? Let's see here. There's like this really cool. Oh yeah. Oh, not that one. It's this one. One of these videos has. It's this one. I'm trying to find a video. Us in Milwaukee. But that's Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oops. That's not what I meant to do.
Golden Gallery signature. This Valentine's Day.
Sorry. Hit the wrong button.
There's nothing that can stop us. I just wanna.
Here we go. Skip up ahead. Sorry. Won't take up too much time.
Welcome. See, this is an indigenous creature in China that was driven to extinction.
Yeah, look at that. I'd love to go to that. Lantern festival like that. It's just so beautiful.
There's also like soda, some lychee and Asian caramel.
What'd you get?
We got the peach sake thing.
I'll try it.
All right.
Yeah, but that's pretty much something I'd want to go to. Oh, hey, Patrick. Oh, you don't. Sorry. I did not have the video up. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can rewind it back. Some of the stuff I was talking about earlier. Come on, play. Yeah, this is in Milwaukee. I'd love to do something like that.
Hey Taeyang, how you like the show so far?
Good. They should put more speakers.
Speakers for the music?
Yeah, like, you know.
That's good feedback.
Wolf.
There's no wolf. There's no fox.
What? There's a fox?
Oh my god. Okay, you guys are trolling.
No, there isn't.
Oh.
They have the number right there.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, you can look there.
I'm monkey too. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you were born monkey.
92.
Yeah.
You guys disrespectful.
There.
Okay, I'm a sheep. I'm a bloody sheep.
The wild Camaro. See, this is an indigenous creature in China that was driven to extinction.
I'd love to go to that. Oh, this is so beautiful. Anyways, that was just a glimpse of what I wanted to show you for the Lantern Festival. All right, what was I at in July? Yeah, it's gonna be a hot month. There's gonna be a lot more kind of like stoking of the fires of division, stuff like that between people in the U.S. Overseas, if China has not started a war with Taiwan, by then it probably will. But like I was saying earlier, they're doomed to failure. Surprise. They're not going to succeed in that one. Because this time I think the world will finally realize that who the country that they should be really looking their eyes on instead of Russia. Because the Communist Party of China has a vested interest of why they want the United States to kind of like go in on itself, turn against itself, because if you have the whole population of the country fighting each other, they'd be too distracted to see you coming in and being able to do whatever you want. That's why they would do all that stuff. Well, that's what I would do if I was an enemy, you know. I'd use my enemy. I'd distract the enemy with all this stuff to try to cause them to be divided so much, and then I would gain more dominion over my power over the world, and then finally force that power on. I mean, like force my, you know what I mean, like force myself on the United States. Then, August. Let's see, around here, I think the harvest is not going to be that terrible. It's not going to be the best. It's going to be about, I want to say, half of what they normally get. Because I think this year we're going to have a little bit more drought. Or possibly the opposite. Maybe we might have more rain this year. I don't know. It all depends on how the planet goes and how the weather decides to change. Best thing I could say is put out the intention that you want everybody to have a good harvest this year for crop. You don't want anybody to suffer, and just let it go. What else? Oh man. August. There's gonna be a lot more people that were saying that they're running for re-election that are finally gonna be like, you know what, I'm out. I'm not running again. Yes, you are. You are very cute. They're gonna just be like, nope, we're done. I'm out. There'll be more information about some of them coming out. There's gonna be a lot more people in the media companies that are gonna be fired or removed from their jobs. I mean, look at what just happened recently. You just had another person leave CNN over a sex scandal. Not surprised. That's like, I can't remember how many of them, how it's been for CNN. Let's see here. August. Anything globally going to be happening? If there's a lot of places that have not rolled back their restrictions by then, there's going to be a lot more uprisings over in Europe. I definitely see Germany or France getting very violent there. Germany and France are probably going to get a little more aggressive with their. Well, the citizens of the countries are going to get a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, a lot more cleansing baths in your future for sure. Definitely cleanse all of this energy because it's going to be heavy. We're going through a rebirth. The planet's going through a big change. There's big shifts that are going to be going on. It all depends on the collective. Because if the collective unconscious wants to be under authoritarian rule, it's going to get more authoritarian. If they don't want to be under authoritarian rule, then it's going to start becoming the opposite. A lot more people are going to start rebelling against the powers that be. Because the powers that be are not connected to us. They're not connected to the collective unconscious. They're another entity itself that feeds off of our negative emotions, our fears, our hatred. They thrive off of this stuff. A lot more people are going to find out about this. A lot of the conspiracy theories that people thought are too crazy for anybody to believe are starting to come true. Heck, there's stuff in the rabbit hole that I found out that I still don't fully understand, you know. Let's see here. That's in August. Now I'm September. That's my birthday month, by the way. I'll be 31. Or wait, will I be 31? I gotta look. I'm so silly. I know when my birthday is. Just I don't remember how old I'm gonna be. I feel like I'm 30,000 years old. Let's see here. 22. Okay, I'm gonna be 32. I thought it was going to be 31. I guess I am 31. I know, right? Okay. I'll be 32 this year. But that's not part of my prediction, so. Oh, really? You're going to be 30 this year, so. I'm sorry. I'm just being silly. September. I already talked about possible new variants. Keep an eye out for anything named Omega or Andromeda if the news says anything like that, because that's going to be their next strain that they're going to name, I think. But I'm not talking about anything coming in September, though, for that. If the whole thing hasn't died down by then I think they might try to do their last final thing. And that would be a false flag alien invasion. Not 100% sure on that, but that's kind of the energy I was getting off of that. There's going to be a lot more stuff related to space coming out then. You want an outer space party? That'd be really fun. September. There's going to be a lot more different political parties getting into power overseas. I think a lot of people are going to be tired of the left and right dynamic, and they're just a big, you know what? Both sides have some point of view that makes sense. We just need to work all collectively together. they're going to finally realize that these politicians that are overseas are not really helping anybody at all. They're just lining their pocketbooks with your money. And they're going to be like, you got to go. You got to go. Same with the United States. In November, it's going to be, I honestly sense it's going to be a pretty, well, the mainstream media is already predicting a resurgence of red, but I honestly think there might be a lot more independents running, and they might be winning. Because there's a lot of people in the United States are getting sick and tired of the two-party system. I'm one of them. I'm sick of the whole absolutist thing where you have to be this or you're my enemy kind of thinking. November, besides that election thing, if 46 is not removed from office before then, he'll probably be either removed from office or he might not even be alive. Depending on which aliens come. Because they're already here. It's just a matter of which ones you want to meet, because there is some very friendly ones and there's some that are very hostile. I call them the dark forces because that's what they are. The ones that are on this planet now, or that are controlling everything, they're the dark forces. They've been here for a long time. But that's another rabbit hole that I'm not going to go down right now because it's still a touchy subject on YouTube, obviously. November. There's going to be a lot more extraterrestrial stuff in November as well. December. There's going to be a lot more people thinking that the second coming is coming. There'll be a lot more people claiming to be the Messiah returned on the earth. Sorry, guys, but y'all being lied to. It's not going to happen. It's part of their plan, but it's not going to happen. You don't want Yahweh to come back on this planet. Believe me, you don't. December, besides that, I feel like things are going to start cooling down a little bit more, but that's when you're going to start really noticing more of the division of 3D and 5D. Actually, you're starting to notice it right now. The ones that are starting to act like they're part of a hive mind, and the ones that are just like looking at all these people and they're like, what are you acting like this for? You don't act like how you normally acted before. Like, you're acting crazy kind of thing. But I'm not calling them that and just seeing it as how I see it. And they're going to start using that phrase against us too. They're going to make people think that the ones that are waking up are crazy. They're like, no, you're crazy. This isn't what's really going on. Nothing's bad's going to happen. It's going to get a lot better. Because the government likes to gaslight people too. They do it all the time. A lot of people do it. Do I do it? No. I don't. If I do, it's not intentional. I don't like causing people to think and self-doubt themselves. I'm the opposite. when I see people self-doubting themselves and self-tearing themselves down, I like to lift them up and say, no, it's not. That's not the case. You're the opposite. You're special. You're a good person. You're not horrible. Your mind is playing tricks on you, and it's not you. What's your old programming? I have it happen all the time to me. It's December. Is there anything else that I need to say about December? Nothing that I could think of. In general, final thoughts for 2022. It's going to be a heck of a ride. You think the beginning of the year is something, wait until you get towards the end of the year. It's going to be a wild ride. You're definitely going to think you're going crazy then, if you're awake. What else? Any major celebrity things I could think of? You see any celebrities that's starting to speak out against anything? And it's like against like the narrative that's going on. I have a feeling some of them are not going to end up being alive anymore. And there's also be some celebrities that are going to be dying this year too. I mean, we already had like quite a few that died just recently. I feel Clint Eastwood's not going to be surviving this year. I have a feeling he's going to be going soon. If she doesn't go this year, she's going next year. And that would be Dolly Parton. She's going to be going soon too. And keep an eye on the celebrities that are starting to like die, because that's a sign that the shift is coming too. Because they're part of the old Earth, old Midgard. They're not coming to the new Midgard. They're done in this realm. They're going back to Source or the Great Void, whatever you see it as. 2023. I'm not going to be breaking it down by month like I did with 2022, but I got 20 things I gotta say about 2023 prediction wise. 2023, if you're not awake by the end of this year, you will be then. And it might be too late for you by then. You're going to start noticing more hidden in plain sight messages a lot easier then, if you're awake by then. You're going to start to realize that, if you haven't realized it now, you're going to start to realize that we are all being played against each other, and we should be helping each other out instead of fighting each other. Because the thing about the Dark Forces is, the number one threat to them is all of us united as one. Because if we're all united, they're powerless. Um, 2023. I'll fight baby with the pillow. As long as it's not any bricks in it. Just kidding. The UN's not going to exist very much longer in 2023. Everything related to the UN is going to be gone. Oh, you're funny. I love you so much. UN is going to go bye-bye. There are going to be a lot more corrupt things about it. A lot of people on the planet are going to start to realize that the UN was not created to help us. It was created to control us. Fourth thing. That'd be interesting if that does start happening. Like my one thumbnail said something about Ragnarok happening. That's a possibility. There's some people that think that we're already in Ragnarok right now. But like Ragnarok, it's a cycle. You know, like birth, death, you know, like a cycle of the ages kind of thing. Some people think we're in a Ragnarok cycle again. Makes sense. In my opinion, it does. But who knows? Let's see what happens, I guess. 2023. I feel like someone's going to discover where Atlantis actually is at by 2023. Heard something about Atlantis in my head. I still have Slim Jims. Yes, you're going to still have Slim Jims by then. They're going to try to do their whole controlling people what they eat thing. There's a lot of people that are still pushing the vegan stuff, but there's some spiritualists that think, yeah, vegan's a good way to go because you're cutting out all the karmic bad energy of the animal that died. But look at some of the indigenous tribes of the world. Quite a few of them, if not most of them, ate meat. But like when they killed the animal, they thanked the animal for sacrificing itself to give us life. It's an animist thing or something like that. But like they respected the animal and they asked the animal if it was okay for them to take its life and use its life force to feed. They respected the animal spirit. And if the animal spirit said, no, you cannot kill me, then they would not kill that animal. But if one said yes, then they would kill it, and they would use everything of the animal and not waste anything. Because the animal gave up itself to be used for either food or for clothing or for tools. There's going to be a lot more people that are going to be respecting animals in 2023. Yeah, there's still going to be people hunting and killing stuff for food. That's part of the natural cycle. Yes, I agree. It's the same thing with fishing. There's some people that would rather keep the fish if it got hooked up so much that it started to bleed, because it would be inhumane to let it go into the water and let it die when it's already caught by you. You might as well just eat it and use the energy of the animal. It makes me sad when that happens. Yeah, I know. It sucks. It sucks when they get the hook and too far and they start bleeding pretty bad. I like fishing, but I don't like that. Yeah. Spear fishing is a little bit quicker because instead of it bleeding to death by getting hooked really bad, the spear goes through the whole fish and it's gone. Then that's how they used to fish a long time ago, besides netting too. Interesting fact is the Norse god Loki is supposedly the one that created the fish net. But that's a story for another time. And that story, I want to hold your hands too. Let's see what's on the fourth one. The fifth one. Fifth prediction of 2023. This is for everybody, not just for me, too. Just letting you guys know. If some of you are waiting for your soulmate or twin flame, if you want that to happen and you manifest it and you truly believe it's going to happen, it will happen. So don't give up hope. It will happen. It takes time. A lot of things won't manifest right away. But once we get to the fifth dimension, anything you wish to desire to come to manifest will come right that. You're still beautiful. Even though you say you're squished, you're still beautiful. The whole reducing the carbon thing, I think people are going to start to realize that it's nothing more than a making people get richer thing. Because a lot of these people that are pushing carbon taxes and reducing carbon and stuff like that, they're going to make a lot of money off of it. They are. It's another way of causing them to enslave us even more. Because then they'll be able to say, well, you're not able to travel by air, land, or sea with any gas-powered vehicle. Only we can, because we have the money to pay for that carbon emissions tax. But there's going to be a lot more people that are starting to wake up on that. And then there's some people that are saying, oh, they're trying to reduce the carbon. Oh, by the way, you know we're all made up of carbon, right? YouTube's not going to like when I said that. But a lot more people are going to wake up to that, I feel like, in 2023. There's going to be a lot more people in 2023 that are going to want to move out of the cities. I'm not going to lie, I'm one of them. I don't want to live in any city anymore. I mean, Grand Forks, granted, it's not really a huge city. East Grand Forks is pretty small. It's like only 8,000 people. But I'm talking about like moving away from cities. Like being near like a small community kind of thing. Kind of like like having groups of people get a piece of land dividing it up, each person living off the land, all off grid, kind of like a small community, but we're still near like a near civilization if we need any supplies or anything like that. But I believe if we work hard enough, we'll be able to survive without any cities or anything like that. We'll be able to grow our own food and everything like that. It's going to be hard because this is stuff that our ancestors knew a long time ago. Meal therapy. You'll still be near stuff like that. But by 2023, I believe the stuff like that is going to be a lot more better. There's going to be a lot more people that actually care about making people better instead of just like making them worse. But I believe once the 5D energy starts hitting the Earth a lot more, and it's starting to hit it now, a lot of that trauma that we all inherited is going to start healing itself. It's going to be painful at first, but it's going to heal itself out. And a lot of people right now have either met their soul mates or their twin flame, which is good because they're going to need them right now. And if people have not met their twin flame or soul flame or soul mate yet, the people that they've met that's in their spiritual community, that's going to be able to help them go through this. I believe that. See, I don't know how many things I've talked about in 2023 yet, but sixth thing. If the Vatican still exists by the end of 2022, it won't be around by 2023. There's going to be a lot more information about the Vatican that's going to be coming out, and they might not even exist anymore. I honestly think the the big three Abrahamic religions are going to start to collapse. There's a lot more people now that are turning away from them now. Western civilization is going to collapse. It's already happening right now. But you know what they say about collapses and deaths? There's a rebirth. There's something newer coming. Growing jalapenos. And peppers. Yes. A lot of the Eastern ideology and spiritualism, like Taoism, Buddhism, Hinduism, a lot of the pagan belief systems are going to start coming back. They already are. A lot more people are going to start being connected back to the old ways. They're not going to be telling other people, hey, you can't do this because I don't think you should do this kind of thing. They're not going to be kind of, how would you say, gatekeeping other people from finding their spiritual practice of their choice. They're going to be accepting of them. It's not going to be quite universalist, but it's going to be more or less like a I don't know how to describe it, but I'm not gonna say utopian because that's not the right word. It's gonna be a pretty amazing place to live once things start shifting to fifth dimension stuff. You won't look at another human being and say, "Oh, what are you? Like, what's your blah 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 identity?" kind of thing. It's not gonna matter anymore. They're gonna see the inside of you, like the soul energy of you. And that's all that's going to matter. What's another thing I could see happening in 2023? Do I see cryptocurrency still being around? I don't know. It all depends on how much the federal governments of the world want to get in on that action. Because if as soon as the federal government start getting in on that action, they're going to start trying to control that, regulate that, and get rid of all paper money. Then, which some people that don't like technology, it's a bad thing. Some people that like technology, it's a good thing. But if they go really Orwellian, they can control how much money you have by how good of a person you are and complying with everything. Like how the People's Republic of China has a social credit system. But like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. I think the opposite's going to happen. It's going to be a lot more freedoms and stuff happening. Let's see here. (2023). There's going to be a lot of new people born on this planet. There's going to be a lot of souls coming on this planet. A lot of newer ones and a lot of older ones. Yes, we are. It's going to be a beautiful house, too. We're going to be witnessing the greatest events happen in human history, in galactic history, in 2023, if it goes that way. There's going to be a lot more people connected to their actual real selves. They're going to start realizing that, hey, we're not just a vessel. There's something powerful inside this vessel. We're living gods and goddesses on this planet. We just lost our power, but we have it back again. All right. Anything else I can think of? I do not see petrol fuel being used very much longer. In 2023, I think we'll have the technology that we won't need any gas anymore. We're going to have all the technology that was suppressed from us be free to us. We're going to have the ability to create our own energy, be able to heal ourselves without needing pharmaceutical companies anymore. It's going to be a new golden age. I feel it. I hope I'm right. All right, it's been about 1 hour and 35 minutes. This has probably been the longest broadcast I've done. So I hope you enjoyed some of these predictions that I have made. I know the thumbnail looked like a little intimidating when I did it, but it's more or less just to try to grab your attention and your predictions and stuff like that. Just stress eat more guacamole. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have laughed at that. But once the shift happens and the ones that are not ready to go to 5D Earth, it's going to look like the Earth's going to end for them. But oh, man. But like I said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed a lot of the stuff I said on this broadcast. I'm going to do a quick rune poll before we go. Give us a final message. See what's the parting message we need to have for this. Is there a message that can help us with navigating through these times? Interesting. I pulled the rune Sawilo, which means sunlight or success. As long as you see the brightness and everything, success is going to be coming your way no matter what. As long as you keep your vibrations high, live in the love frequency, you should be fine. But don't fall for the whole operating in the light, love and light kind of dynamic, because there's a lot more spiritualists now that are saying, yeah, you need to embrace your darkness and realize it's part of you and not be afraid of it. Because you can have darkness without light, and vice versa. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. May your ancestors guide you on this path and be your friend's true friend. Return gift for gift. Repay laughter with laughter again, but betrayal with treachery. I love you too. But you all have a good night. Blessed Imbolc. Blessed Lugnasad for those in the southern hemisphere. I'm celebrating Thorabloat tonight, even though I'm really not doing anything for it besides lighting incense for the Allfather. And I'm using the energy of Wednesday, Woden's Day, to bring some knowledge and stuff into the world for people to hear if they need to hear it. Thank you for watching. Blessed be, and hail and farewell. Bye. Oh, wait. I'm not done yet. Not done yet. I'm going to be starting a podcast pretty soon. I have this podcast that I used to do called the Into the Mystic with Morgan Dragonmoon. I'm going to be restarting that podcast now that I found a host site that I can host stuff for free on and be able to put my podcast on Apple Play, Google Store, and Spotify. My podcasts are going to be talking about spiritual stuff, stuff with the occults, and overall like stuff with astrology as well too. It's going to be called Into the Mystic with Morgan Dragonmoon, and if any of you wish to be a guest on that podcast, please let me know either in the comments below or email me at intothemysticmorgandragonmoon@gmail.com. It's into the into the Mystic Morgan Dragonmoon at gmail.com. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for any announcements in the future, and look forward to having my first actual podcast be on other streaming sites now. Thank you for watching, and blessed be.